Dames en here, die akademiese prosesie sal binnekort inbeweeg. U word versoek om asseblief op te staan.
Bomma le bontate, molokoloko wa dirutegi o tla tsena mo nakong e kopana. Le kgopelwa go ema. Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession will enter shortly. You're kindly requested to stand.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I hereby constitute this assembly as a legal congregation of the University of Pretoria. During this assembly, degrees with all the associated rights and privileges will be conferred on the candidates whose names appear in the program. You may now take your seats, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a short prayer or meditation to give thanks for the achievement of our students. Thank you. I would like to extend a warm word of welcome to the Dean of the Faculty, Professor Kevin Thomas. I would also like to extend a warm word of welcome to the Vice President for International Engagement and Services from King's College in London, Professor Funmi Olusegun, who has flown all the way from the United Kingdom to join us in this graduation. Thank you very much, Professor. We know you're a friend of the university, but also a main contributor to the core business of this university. I would also welcome the Deputy Dean, Professor Pigarai, Research, the faculty, and Professor Zita Mukomani, our Deputy Dean for Teaching and Learning, the faculty. Represented the Registrar, our Deputy Director for Student Systems, Mr. Sonepul, is also welcome. I'm also informed that we have our MEC for Agriculture and Rural Development in the Gauteng province, Ms. Vuisa Ramokgopa. We welcome you most heartily to the University of Pretoria to witness all the good work that this university is doing. I would now like also to welcome all chairpersons of schools, heads of departments, all the directors, emeriti and honorary professors who are present here, all our teaching staff and their spouses. You are most welcome. I also like to welcome Makado Rampefa, who will present the SRC academic honors in this ceremony. And of course, our graduates, all of you, we are truly proud of you. And thank you very much for your perseverance and staying the course until it culminated into this remarkable achievement. I also like to welcome all the parents, grandparents, all family members and friends who have supported all these graduates that we see here today. It is indeed a very special moment for us, and we witness your achievements. We have laid a red carpet here for you as a symbol of respect, and please walk through this carpet. It's your celebration. We celebrate your hard work, we celebrate your perseverance, your resilience, and indeed, as the University of Pretoria, and in this particular faculty, we are truly delighted. We are graduating 13,227 students in this series of graduations this autumn, and it is a huge contribution to the economic development, not only of the province, but of the country and the world. And in this ceremony alone, we have 359 graduates in our social sciences, and it is indeed one of those moments that we are truly proud of. And once again, congratulations to all of you. If we look back to 1919, the Faculty of Humanities at this university was born. 1919, that's many, many years ago, during the time of those people like John Smarts and all of those people. This faculty was born, and it is ranking number 4 in this country among all other faculties of all the universities that we have. And the work that is undertaken in this faculty, is characterized by strategic partnerships, impactful research, and of course graduates that have a purpose. And we know that you will be leading with purpose as well as you go. I have mentored some of you here, and we're truly proud that you have stayed on. We have 18 doctorates, and I want to thank the faculty all supervisors, heads of departments for producing this number of doctorates, because they make a very big impact for the university. If we accumulate all the doctorates in this ceremony, it is something that is placing us, in the international arena very seriously, because a doctoral degree is one of those, culminations of academia and or other professions. It is characterized by rigor, and people that have this qualification are very mobile, but I hope they will stay in the continent at least and share their expertise. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to speak for long. As you know, I hardly do anyway, because this is about your celebration. It's not about long speeches from us. But again, congratulations. We are here for you. Let us celebrate. And remember, and I say it all the time, this is not a party now, right? It's a graduation ceremony. We should celebrate, we should applaud, and just exercise restraint, because there are 359 of you. All these parents and relatives that are here would like to hear Professor Thomas call the name of their children. I'm just saying this, but I know that this faculty behaves very well at graduations. But we are not saying don't applaud, don't celebrate, but just don't go overboard. And I would now like to request the Dean to introduce to me the candidates whose names appear in the program.
Mr. Vice Principal, the supervisors will now introduce the doctoral candidates.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Celia Becker, who has complied with the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in History with a thesis titled British Military Intelligence in the Anglo-Boer War, the South African War, 1899 to 1902, prepared under my supervision. In her thesis, the promovenda analyzes the role of British military intelligence and its impact on military developments during the war. Employing the military cycle, the intelligence cycle as conceptual framework, the study explores the organizational structure and development of field intelligence, the diverse sources and methods of collecting information, and the process of collating, reporting, and disseminating intelligence to decision makers. Each component of British military intelligence is evaluated for its effectiveness with reference to practical examples from specific battles and events. It finds that, despite significant initial shortcomings, by the end of the war, the Field Intelligence Department had developed into a well-functioning, three-tiered intelligence system which influenced military intelligence thinking in the preamble to the First World War. The thesis provides a comprehensive and a critical assessment of British military intelligence during the Anglo-Boer War and makes a significant contribution to the historiography of military intelligence. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associate rights and privileges on Celia Becker. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Tafatswa Chikondo, who has complied with the requirement for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Climate Change Shocks and Women in Farming Household, an analysis of women's responses and changing intra-household dynamics in resettlement farms in Zimbabwe District, Zimbabwe, prepared under my supervision. In her thesis, the candidate explores how women in resettlement farms have been impacted by climate change and how they have used their agency to adapt their livelihoods. Using an ethnographic approach, she examines the women's livelihood responses and their impact on intra-household and societal dynamics. Through empirical research, she demonstrates that climate change shocks and their effect on agriculture may be emancipating for women through responses geared towards survival outside the farm. The findings provide rather unprecedented empirical support to calls to pay more attention to context, as each context is specific and realities are different. The study contributes to the body of knowledge on women and adaptation to climate change and is relevant to policy. Mr. Vice Principal, I ask you to confer the degree to the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on Tafatswa Chikondo. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Bridget Chimga, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with the thesis titled Towards the Artificial Intelligence of Things, a review of the ethical and societal implications at the convergence of AI and the Internet of Things technologies in South Africa, prepared under my supervision. In her thesis, the candidate explores the dual narrative of promise and peril in the AI of things. First, her study reveals a private sector-led technological uptake with potential for economic gains and improved service delivery. However, the thesis also argues that the AI of things is not a neutral tool, but an amplifier of historical injustices. It frames this technological convergence of AI and the Internet of Things as inherently political, reshaping societal structures. Using frameworks of digital colonialism, algorithmic apartheid, environmental injustice, and surveillance capitalism, the candidate demonstrates how this convergence risks deepening structural inequalities. Confronting this challenge, her work culminates in a vital governance roadmap. Benchmarking 6 African nations, it identifies a strategic void and provides ethically grounded recommendations for a more suitable, equitable South African AI of Things future. Mr. Vice Principals, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on Bridget Chimga.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Edson Chiwenga, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Social Anthropology with a thesis titled Obstacles and Opportunities, the Impact of the Multi-Currency Monetary System on Livelihoods and Social Lives in Zimbabwe, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate analyzed the new forms of social interaction that emerged when people engage with multiple currencies and forms of money. The thesis argues that economic practices, social relationships, values, ethics, and systems of trust are transformed by the introduction of multiple currencies, prompting the informalization of formal institutions and the reconstitution of spaces, systems of exchange, and methods of negotiation. The ethnographic study conducted in Zimbabwe, where multiple currencies have been used by the country's citizens since 2002 and were adopted by the state in 2009, the study contributes a new understanding of how multi-currency systems impact and are impacted by social, economic, political, and technological interactions. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all associated rights and privileges on Edson Chiwenga. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce you to Andrea Hayes, who has complied with the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, prepared under the supervision of Professor Nolene Marie Cook. In this thesis, The Playful Karoo, Digitizing the South African Anthropocene in Video Games, the candidate critically examined how virtual reality game design can be used to reimagine climate change narratives in South Africa. The research adopts Jane Rosenthal's novel Souvenir, 2004, into a virtual reality prototype titled A Kindred Karoo, set in a speculative vision of the Karoo and engaging with themes of the Anthropocene, environmental restoration, and technological coexistence. The candidate drew on Selin Zimmerman's theory of meaningful play, Flanagan's notion of critical play, and Haraway's Chithalucene as key theoretical anchors. These are explored through both critical analysis and the practical development of an original VR prototype. The thesis adds a unique interdisciplinary contribution to game studies, environmental humanities, and digital storytelling, demonstrating how game design can serve as a powerful tool for critical engagement with ecological futures in South Africa and the Karoo. Mr. Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges of Andrea Hayes. Congratulations.
We did it, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. We did it. We made it. We made it. And we all did. Sorry for that, Prof.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you David Kwebo, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled African Shared Values and Policy Development, Outcome of the African Union's Transitional Justice Policy, prepared under my supervision and with Dr. Shanai Munyaka Machaka as co-supervisor. In this thesis, the candidate examined how African shared values have shaped the African Union Transitional Justice Policy, grounding the study within an emancipatory critical theory framework. The argument is made that the AUTJP represents the first transitional justice policy developed from an explicitly African standpoint, distinguishing it from the United Nations and European Union transitional justice frameworks, which prioritize legal equality, criminal accountability, and the end of impunity. By contrast, the AUTJP foregrounds values such as Ubuntu, community, indigenous justice, and restoration. The study demonstrates that an emancipatory agenda must inform the transitional justice process to ensure inclusion of marginalized groups, and particularly youth, through formal and indigenous mechanisms. Overall, the research offers a novel contribution by showing how African value systems and indigenous practices can advance inclusive, emancipatory transitional justice outcomes across the continent. Mr. Vice President, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associate rights and privileges on David Kwebo. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Eddie Liwai, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with the thesis titled Value-Sensitive Design in Artificial Intelligence, Ethical Issues in the Case of a Smart Traffic Signal Control System, prepared under my supervision. In his thesis, the candidate investigates whether a value-sensitive design approach can be employed to align AI systems to stakeholders' ethical requirements in an African jurisdiction. The study focuses specifically on the ethical issues that would arise from the implementation of a smart traffic signal control system in Zambia. Through a value-sensitive design methodology based on free investigative approaches, he recommends an ethics stakeholder matrix for identifying stakeholders and their distinctive roles. The thesis succeeds to add a novel dimension to the design of AI systems by making recommendations for embedding African values as well as ethical concerns shared with The thesis succeeds to add a novel dimension to the design of AI systems by making recommendations for embedding African values as well as ethical concerns shared with Western countries in AI-driven technological systems. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associate rights and privileges on Eddie Liwai.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Giselle Bronwyn-Lowe, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Social Anthropology with a thesis titled Motherhood, Migration and Marginality, an ethnographic exploration of experiences of pregnancy, birth, and the postnatal period of members of the South African diaspora living in the United Kingdom, prepared under my supervision and with Professor Rebecca Hodes as co-supervisor. In this thesis, the candidate examined the pre- and postnatal experiences of South Africans who give birth in the United Kingdom. The candidate unpacked the complexities of this vulnerable period, highlighting ambiguities that may negatively affect maternal experiences through poor intercultural communication within health and immigration services. Drawing on autoethnography, interviews, and participant observation, the thesis explores how mother and migrant identities are articulated and negotiated in everyday life. It demonstrates how women respond to these experiences through their understandings of what it means to be South African in the UK and how these experiences shape maternal trajectories. And the thesis contributes to scholarship on motherhood and migration by centering middle-class legal migrants, a group that has received comparatively little anthropological attention in the global north. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on Giselle.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Muhammad Ali Mir, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled An Assessment of the Impact of the United Nations Security Council's Arms Embargo on Rebuilding Somalia's National Armed Forces 2012 to 2023, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate examined how international and domestic constraints, particularly the UNSC arms embargo, have affected Somalia's efforts to rebuild an effective national armed force between 2012 and 2023. Using a qualitative research design that included extensive archival research, secondary sources, and in-depth interviews with Somali security practitioners, it provided a detailed analysis of Somalia's complex security environment. Grounded in levels of analysis, the security dilemma, and Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the research found that while the arms embargo has hindered military reconstruction, it is not the primary cause of institutional weakness. Instead, the study identifies regional interference, corruption, weak institutions, flawed security sector reform, and incomplete state building as the main obstacles. The research contributes to international relations and security studies and offers policy-relevant recommendations for peace building and reform in fragile states. Mr. Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on Mohammed Mir.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Obakeng Naledi Modise, who has complied with all requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis entitled An Institutional Evaluation of Declining Voter Turnout in South African General Elections 1999 to 2019, prepared under the supervision of Dr. Sitambile Mbete and myself. In this thesis, the candidate introduces a new level of analysis in the study of voter turnout in South Africa. Current discourse largely focuses on socio-economic and demographic variables, while the influence of institutional factors remains under-researched. In response, this study examined the impact of the electoral system and electoral laws on voter turnout in South Africa. To conceptually frame this thesis, the candidate adopted Kobler and Lipuma's theory of inflected modernity, which identified the various paths of post-colonial states followed to democratization, together with Randeria's concept of entangled histories of uneven modernities. This study contributes to the broader field of voter behavior and argues that the decline in voter turnout in South Africa results from a combination of attitudinal and institutional factors. Mr. Vice Principal, I request that you confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associate rights and privileges on Oba King Modise.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Jacqueline Besije Nyirachiza, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Late Stone Age Assemblages Around the Ndali Crater Lakes of the Ugandan Western Albertine Rift, prepared under the supervision of Professor Peter Ridgway-Schmidt with Professor Catherine Whitman-Arthur and myself as co-supervisors. In this thesis, the candidate examined the archaeological settlements and subsistence evidence within a framework of social interaction between stone tool-using Sudanic speakers and Bantu speakers between 400 BC and 1600 AD. The candidate conceptually framed the thesis by integrating Middle Stone Age technologies into the Late Stone Age and environmental studies to arrive at a new synthesis of late Holocene history in Western Uganda. This perspective has also unveiled the significance and chronology of stone tool manufacturing over several cultural entities, ranging from Kansinyore, Budin transitional Urewe wares of the mid-1st millennium AD, to bigger period agro-pastoralist communities of the mid-2nd millennium AD. The study also opened new perspectives on the retention of Middle Stone Age technological attributes in later Stone Age technologies in the once forested Ndali Crater Lakes region of Western Uganda. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associate rights and privileges on Jacqueline Nyirachiza.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Edwin Terry Smith, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in History with a thesis titled Samafku, A History from the Inside, 1978 and Beyond, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, Promovendus considered and constructed a history of the Solomon Mahlangu Freedom College, the ANC School for Exiled South Africans in Tanzania, from the inside, from the point of view of those who were at the institution through its 15-year lifespan, from 1978 to when it was closed in 1992. The research sought to understand how Samafku alumni responded to post-apartheid developments in South Africa, given the ideal of developing a new South Africa towards a liberated, non-sexist, non-racist, and non-discriminatory society. The promovendus framed the thesis using the notion of education for liberation, shared with other liberation movements in the region. The study finds that the people's political experience and motivation, their reasons for exiting into exile, greatly influenced how they experienced and understood exile, as well as their roles and identities upon returning home. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the promovendus.
I I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on Edwin Smith. You're welcome.
Thanks, Prof.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Jonico van der Walt, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled A Genealogy of the Springbok Legion, Communism, World War, and the Making of South African Non-Racialism, 1941 to 1955. In this thesis, the candidate studied the Springbok Legion as a space in the 1940s and 1950s that fostered the amalgamation, renegotiation, and reconstitution of colonial conceptions of whiteness, belonging, and duty, informed by a wartime South African economy and a turbulent post-war political milieu. Conventional histories reduced the organizational and ideological character of the Legion to a dualistic and determinist historical analysis. However, this thesis shows how the Legion was a space where white liberals and radical activists could embody complementary and contradictory values in pursuit of the principles of constitutional democracy and non-racialism. The Legion is posited as a crucial component of the extra-parliamentary political environment of the 1950s, in which non-racialism was the most viable political strategy for the Congress alliance. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on Jonico van der Walt. Well done.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Ian Fleming Zou, who has complied with the requirements for the degree of philosophy with a thesis titled Evaluating Economic Instruments on Denuclearization, a study of U.S. economic sanctions on North Korea's nuclear program, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate examined why economic sanctions fail to generate strategic policy change, using North Korea as a critical case study. Challenging the conventional separation between domestic and international explanatory models, the study advances a core argument that sanctions failure results from the interaction between internal ideological resilience and fragmented external enforcement. The thesis makes its principal theoretical contribution by adapting cartel theory to international sanctions analysis, conceptualizing sanctioning states as a fragile enforcement coalition whose internal defection and misaligned incentives undermine coercive capacity. Drawing on structural realism, the research demonstrates how North Korea's centralized political system, reinforced by Juche and Songun ideology, intersects with inconsistent sanctions implementation by Russia and China to weaken the United States-led sanctions regime. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate, Ian Zou. Can I get a speaker here? David, can you have a seat or make a move there? You're becoming unruly now.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce you to Shuvai Nyoni Busuman, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Commissions of Inquiry as Transformational Leadership, AU Commission of Inquiry on South Sudan's Approach to Sexual Violence, prepared under my supervision and with Professor Funmi Olonishakin as joint supervisor. In this thesis, the candidate critically assessed whether commissions of inquiry can transform the condition of people affected by sexual violence in conflict settings. The thesis used a leadership conceptual framework to examine the work of the African Union Commission of Inquiry on South Sudan and to draw conclusions about the transformative impact of the AU's intervention in South Sudan. Deploying transformational leadership as a conceptual framework, the study identified what transformation is in relation to conflict-related sexual violence. It determined how the AU-CIS had a transformative impact on sexual violence and found that at the core of its transformative influence in South Sudan, the AU-CIS significantly contributed to shifts in the ecosystem of conflict-related sexual and other gendered violence through an expressed and inherent intention of transformation and relationship and mutuality building. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on Shuvai Nyoni. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Arts. Specializing in diplomatic studies, Bulelwa Kiva. Sitrino Kubeka. Dora Madise. Neo Masuta. Lebohang Mosia. Tapalatse Serwate. Nkolisi Zondo. Specializing in geography and environmental studies, Alan Ricozzo. Specializing in international relations, Bokani Motsu with distinction. Specializing in political science, Tiamo Mashaw. Stelempilo Hadebe. Zilungile Silinda. Karika Middleberg. Esther Njiko. Specializing in security studies, Diana Benny. Xanthi Gittings. How do you say his surname? Imka Tiarden. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Social Sciences. In Development Studies, Abigail Chemutai. Esishle Dube. Tuto Mashila. Nomfundo Mavi. Ashley McLaughlin. Tatu Mukhalahadi. Nonkululeku Msinga. Tinwade Williams. Specializing in anthropology, Amy Ravello. Specializing in gender studies, Kebolake Gwebu. There. Specializing in heritage and cultural sciences, Victory Banda. Louisa Jordan with distinction. Specializing in history, Annemie de Beer with distinction. Michaela Ferreira with distinction. Meg Lendrum with distinction. Specializing in industrial sociology and labor studies, Lesedi Mangwane. Specializing in sociology, Tatiana Kovalevich. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Arts Honours. Specializing in Archaeology, Simon Cohen. Constance Mulenga. Emma Nadold. Tyrone Solomons. Sonica van Niekerk. Specializing in international relations, Kimon Bawabnibik. Angel Buddha. Flynn Carroll. Sine Groenewald. Liongo Khosi. Angela Kaweka. Pomolo Mabote. Tandiswa Maboi. Tembelishle Mafanga. Arlacia Makawa. Senemi Mdaki. Reamohetsi Mei. Tabile Mtembu, with distinction. Martha Mumba. Nomvuzo Mkwanyana. Samantha Shala. Deborah Sunday. Specializing in philosophy, Jamiroquai Jors. Zoe Joseph. Jan Kalambai. Tumelo Modiba. Pomelelo Moleke. Nande Mpungoma. Hannah Shackleton. Specializing in philosophy, politics, and economics, Catherine Blichnout, with distinction. Emily Berger. Luanele Gumede. Tanaka Samuriwo. Specializing in political science, Taskin Hanef. Riboningo Hlangwang. Jordan Lawrence. Lesedi Mabaso. Palesa Malatse. Ashley Robinson. Tana Scott. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Social Science honors. In Development Studies, Ian Adipo, with distinction. Mpo Baloi. Nicholas Ikata, with distinction. Shiluba Shlungwane. Bianca Johnson. Nancy Karangwa. Miriam Kunene. Belinda Mahachi. Simpiwe Mashlangu, with distinction. Katlejo Mashilane. Siwapiwe Mkamkelwa. Tato Moatse. Damon Modern with distinction. Relebohile Mofokeng. Ntuseng Mokwena. Palesa Mosweo. Ontatile Pule. Bongisipo Sibanda with distinction. Lindani Siziba. Specializing in anthropology, Fani Mia. Cleo Chin with distinction. Specializing in gender studies, Luana Matiello. Cameron Rodriguez. Specializing in heritage, museum, and preservation studies, Edna Carter with distinction. Antonia Chela with distinction. Marion Hubert with distinction. Tabang Modiba. Angelique Prinsloo with distinction. Specializing in history, Michael Fairbanks. Shannon Glencross. Zanokushle Malele. Nkateko Malema. Kiamogetswe Mataba. Yasin Mohanlal. Mackenzie Morrow with distinction. Ki amogetswe Mosetle with distinction. Aisha Osman with distinction. Aisha also won the Historical Association Award for History, awarded to the best student in history at honors level. Nkweku Selborn Sefume. Specializing in industrial sociology and labor studies, Tandolwetu Dlamini. Bongekile Kunene. Oratile Matlale. Asanda Mchali. Sagwati Mushwana. Esishle Ntola. Specializing in sociology, Murendeni Dakada. Nkwelekazi Dlanjwa with distinction. Homotso Johnson. Grace Kwaza. Charlotte Lechokotla. Raushele Lehai. Boto Lekwene. Katane Mabina. Vulumbe Mabunza. Ipfi Mafukata. Tapelo Malepe. Lemuani Mashamba. Neo Mokuane with distinction. Tuminino Owolabi. Agnes Ranque with distinction. Shongile Rituri. Lisa Sabwe. Ontatile Tuta with distinction. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Social Science, Honours in Geography. Hadara Ramparsad. Tandeka Setole. Nhlahla Shibambu. Omoholo Tao. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Social Science, Honours in Heritage and Cultural Sciences. Graciela de Freitas with distinction. Ayanda Schlatzschwayo. Shakira Khan with distinction. Shakira has also won the Getaway HCT Honours Award for Outstanding Performance in Heritage and Cultural Tourism at the Honours level. Nokupila Kumalo with distinction. Bongani Mabena. Alicia Maila. Mabatu Makama. David Makubela. Lona Mfeketo with distinction. Bonolo Mokonyama. Johannes Molapo.
Is it okay if I can take a video?
No. Simon Ngwenya. Catherine O'Ely. Caris Pokwadi. Fulufelu Ratari. Kagiso Sechokelo with distinction. Sonali Vishnu Kumar with distinction. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Arts. Specializing in philosophy, politics, and economics, Gulce Aksoy. Tia Haswell. Jaslyn Naidu. Divine Odile. Christopher Fulyun. Tondo Zulu. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Political Science. Specializing in International Studies, Sandisiwe Chulayo. Nondumiso Dagume. Unati Dishi. Desiree Divanacher. Lilita Guam. Heinrich Hattang. Devin Honeybun. Brady Ishwadar. Riabetswe Jele. Eddie Kambasha. Diteboho Kubanya. Letukukanya Kumalo. Kenilwe Lecholo. Kanya Luberja. Oyama Mabi. Sandiso Mabizela. Rorisang Mabula. Adele Makobe. Hlulani Maluleke. Ayanda Malungana. Liv Manyika. Tiamo Marite. Tinswalo Masinga. Swarelo Matlou. Lisakanya Mbandazayo. Chilizi Mboweni. Gabby Myers. Tumelo Moahi. Botang Mohale. Nsovo Mokono. Sikelo Msiza. No worries. Tinette Mulder with distinction. Tinette also won the CF Nivot Award for the best third-year student in international relations. Lisakanya Mzamo. Mluleki Ndlovu. Fortune Ngabu. Musawenkosi Ngandi. Mida Yokolo Ngakani. Adogu Nompozolo. Nomfundo Nkumalo. Tariro Nyamayaro. Sishle Nzuza. Flavia Parodi. Cabo Patswani. Christina Piri. Lesejo Pilane. Yurishka Pillay. Hannah Potgieter. Karabo Pule. Maseriti Seriti. Notando Sitole. Olinka Smit. Janisha Swetnam. Siviwe Tuniswa. Kwanele Zwane. Specializing in political studies, Matthew Bester. Melody Bester. Lorna Boyisi. Ontatile Butelezi. Boikanyo Base. Ebony Ann Gonsalves. Shivono Lungwane. Azra Hussein. Pemelo Kekana. Tinasonke Kumalo. Nandi Kukubo. Cholofelo Kutumela. Carabelo Lerara. Makhoshi Make. Makhoshi won the Politica Award for the best third-year student in political science. Sipesile Mashlangu. Ntabiseng Majaja. Elavuyo Makoliso. Mansi Mangena. Kelebohile Masike. Refense Machane. Robert May. Nonchlanchla Mazwi. Kyle McAllister. Zekaya Mdunjana. Asanda Ngomezulu. Palesa Molefe. Tokelo Moloto. Angel Msindwana. Tomponani Mutswale Tswale. Milani Nomganga. Ludumo Mketo. Arya Rajaram. Kananelo Sie Maale. Kamva Senti. Simpiwe Shange. Kanya Twala. Sifundo Young. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Social Science, specializing in industrial sociology and labor studies, Emmanuel Chego. Clarissa Erasmus. Luazi Koza. Mbalenhle Lize. Ivy Mafa. Atule Magidla. Siyabonga Mashlangu. Palesa Malomane. Karabo Mapanga. Lerato Masango. Tulani Matseberi. Sipokazi Mazibuko. Lolwetu Mda. Refense Mohitli. Tsepo Mosiane. Gabriela Msuya. Patuchetsu Mulauji. Nsako Nkuna. Egan Peterson. Raele Palandwa. Kiukanse Ramalekane. Anghanati Rorwana. Tiamo Siakoa. Katlejo Sialetza. Boitumelo Senelo. Kamogelo Sesing. Shlauleku Shivambu. Lindokushle Sibia. Liema Sikau. Mpo Sitole. Homolemo Tsela. Inolofatseng Cielo. Lerato Taba. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Social Science in Heritage and Cultural Studies. Soli Chirinza. Gertruida Hatley. Sibongile Jwala. Luko Kumalo. Mpumi Mabetlela. Jadine Maharaj. Belinda Majlangu. Siabonga Majlangu. Pumudzo Makobela. Zanele Manese with distinction. Rishongile Mashele. Masejo Ramorola with distinction. Lechetu Seshai. Ntsaku Sibisi. Esther Fenter.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have another opportunity now to actually congratulate our graduates and let us give them a round of applause. I'd also like to request our graduates to give a round of applause to their families, friends, and everyone else who supported them. We have graduated a lot of students with distinctions. Congratulations, Mr. Dean, and your colleagues in the faculty for all these remarkable students. We have also graduated some of our current student leaders and past student leaders. And I saw the past president, Tutu Mashile, very humble as usual, but I don't know what happened to David. Yeah, he just changed, he's joined the municipality. But anyway, we have now come to the end of our proceedings. We invite you to liquid refreshments outside in the marquee tent here. And we now request you to stand and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem. By the powers vested in me, I hereby dissolve this assembly of the University of Pretoria.
Nos The graduates have spoken. Let's give them what they want. Graduates, uncommon and more graduates. So, I'm not and take it, Sanamare. Not and take it, Sanamare. Not and take it, Sanamare.